Sometimes in life, we encounter people who irritate us just by talking. And when an argument begins, they automatically assume they are right. You try to stay calm, but they provoke you. They don't let you speak, yet they refuse to accept reality. Talking to them is like speaking to a wall. That's why the Stoics said, "He who argues with a fool lowers himself to the fool's level." So how should we deal with foolish people? After all, we encounter them almost every day. Sometimes we have to live with them, work with them, or even go somewhere together. In this video, I will talk about methods for handling such behavior and share the Stoic perspective on this matter. But you need to watch the video until the end to fully understand each of the 5 rules. This is a useful topic, and I believe you will definitely apply it in your life. So let's transition to our main topic. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and share the video, because many people constantly fall into the traps of fools, which disturbs their peace and wastes their time. If you're ready, let's begin. The first rule is this: wise people never lower their level when dealing with fools. Pay attention to your surroundings. Sometimes it feels like certain people have a special plan against you, to irritate you. Watch your reactions and make themselves seem right. They raise their voices, try to overwhelm you with words, and feel as if they have won. But a wise person sees the difference. They understand that this noise and provocation is just a superficial power play and carries no real value. When you argue with a fool, outsiders rarely see the difference. Your anger may make them appear strong, but your calmness shows true strength. The key point is this: silence and composure are far more powerful than noise and anger. The Stoics said, "He who can remain silent possesses his mind." This is not just about the power of words. It's about inner control, self-discipline, and the ability to silence your emotions before reason. A wise person knows that not every argument is worth engaging in. A fool does not judge your reasoning, they judge your calmness. Sometimes people think that responding will prove them right. But the truth is, responding does not always mean winning. Sometimes responding just wastes your energy. A wise person chooses to avoid arguments and remain calm because it is more valuable. This behavior is also a form of protection. Have you ever wondered why people who stay calm often gain more respect? Because they do not try to manipulate others with words. They do not waste their energy, and they maintain their level-headedness. A fool raises their voice, shows anger, and thinks they have won. In reality, they only reveal their emptiness. A wise person carefully chooses every word, measures every action, and in the end, earns far greater respect. People naturally value those who act with composure and self-control. Let's not forget another Stoic truth. Every time you stay calm without lowering your level, your inner strength grows. This strength comes not from words, but from your behavior. Over time, your composure becomes an example for others, while those making noise are left with only their voices. Therefore, a wise person never wastes their energy on a worthless argument. They rely not on the fool's reasoning, but on their own silence, inner strength, and wisdom. A fool watches your reaction, but by staying calm, you trap them in their own game. This is a form of hidden power and Stoic wisdom. Staying silent is the greatest victory. The second rule is that wise people listen not to respond, but to understand. Sometimes we encounter people who seem not to listen when we speak, yet they wait for a moment. The moment to make you angry and force you to respond. A fool listens not to understand, but to reply. They do not truly want to hear you. They just want to raise their voice and prove themselves right. A wise person is different. They understand first, then speak. They know that every word and action requires energy. If you react immediately to every word, a fool pulls you into their game. But if you listen carefully, stay silent and think, the rules of the game change. Stoic philosophy says, if you cannot listen, you are not yet worthy of speaking. These words are not just a rule of conversation, they are a life philosophy. A wise person knows that calmness and attention are the strongest responses. They listen to the other person but never allow their own emotions to interfere with every word. The words of a fool can often seem like a personal attack. They may insult you, try to prove you wrong, or simply attempt to provoke you. A wise person, however, understands this attack is not about them. It is the other person's ignorance or anger. They control their emotions, engage their mind, and decide, should I respond or should I remain silent? Listening is also a form of analysis. A wise person examines a fool's words one by one, seeking lessons. This is not to defend themselves, but to gain wisdom. They realize that sometimes people raise their voices to cover their emptiness, but silence and attention reveal the truth. Another advantage of this behavior is that the other person expects a reaction. But by staying calm, you surprise them. They try to provoke you, but seeing your composure, their plan fails. This too is a form of victory, a winning through silence. For a wise person, listening also means empathy and understanding. They try to understand why the other person behaves the way they do, but not to change them. They seek understanding solely to manage their own behavior and reactions. In this way, a wise person draws strength from every word, yet never lowers their level. Interestingly, people often see someone who listens calmly and attentively as more respectable and strong, because instead of reacting impulsively, they think and choose, and that is a sign of true power. The third rule: if someone isn't deep enough to understand you, it's not worth explaining. In life, there are people who simply cannot be reasoned with. No matter how hard you try, they believe only in what they already know, refuse to see the truth, and struggle to accept new ideas. You present them with the clearest arguments, show them the facts, and provide logical explanations, yet nothing changes. A foolish person never lets go of their biased perspective and acts as if the truth is hidden in what they say. A wise person in such a situation immediately decides it's not worth explaining. They know that expending energy is merely a waste of time and effort. They never lower their level or try to force the other person into their way of thinking, because they understand that every person has a different depth and readiness. Sometimes people react in ways that no amount of explanation can change. They are ready not to understand you, but only to defend their own biases. Here, a wise person demonstrates their inner strength by remaining silent. Instead of wasting energy on someone who doesn't understand, they calmly step away and invest their time and energy in things of value. This is also a form of protection strategy. Trying to argue with a fool will not change them. It can only drag you down to their level. A wise person knows this well. They share their energy with those worth understanding and keep their distance from those who are not. Sometimes walking away is the right answer, because one's energy and calmness are precious. A wise person understands this and never forces themselves to exhaust their energy in vain. By staying calm and stepping back, they preserve their inner peace while sending a subtle message to the other person. I tried to understand you, but you are not ready. I will remain at my level. Another advantage of this approach is that over time, people notice the value of calm and wise behavior. A silent and attentive person becomes an example not through words, but through actions. A foolish person, however, only hears their own voice and never comprehends depth. Thus, a wise person understands not everyone is worthy of understanding your level. Instead of explaining, they think, analyze, and step away. This may seem like a simple step, but in reality, it demonstrates deep wisdom and inner strength. Wasting your time, after all, is the most subtle form of foolishness. The Stoics said, "Do not waste your mind. Protect it not with cowardly silence, but with wise silence." The fourth rule, learning from the mistakes of fools. One of life's greatest truths is that sometimes people simply do not want to change. Even when they are wrong, they defend their positions and never accept reality. Trying to change a fool is a waste of time. A wise person understands this perfectly. Instead of attempting to change the other person, they treat every encounter as a lesson. They think, which behaviors of this person should I avoid repeating? What can I learn from their mistakes? In this way, every encounter with a fool becomes an experience and a mirror for the wise person. The mistakes and wrong behaviors of a foolish person often provide an opportunity for self-reflection. A wise person sees this and thinks, by observing the mistakes of others, I can see my path more clearly. Instead of seeing foolishness as a symbol of ignorance, they use it as a mirror for their own growth. Think about this. Sometimes people do not recognize their own mistakes, but by observing them, we can learn what not to do. For example, someone who reacts to every word or engages in every trivial argument tires themselves out. A wise person notices this and decides not to get dragged into their game. This behavior also brings inner stability. Trying to change a fool would irritate them and exhaust you, but learning from them and stepping away brings calm. A wise person understands their goal is not to change the other person, but to protect and develop themselves. Observing a fool's mistakes teaches a lesson each time. It shows what not to do and helps you understand which behaviors will preserve your own level. In this way, a wise person gains from every encounter. They turn the fool's mistakes into their advantage, avoid wasting emotional energy, and maintain their inner balance. It may seem simple, but this is one of life's greatest forms of wisdom. Instead of trying to change someone, learn from them, ultimately seeing a fool not as a symbol of ignorance, but as a mirror serves your personal growth and strengthens your inner power. This approach is something only wise people can practice, as it requires patience, observation, and self-control. Finally, in dealing with fools, stepping away is the highest form of response. Yes, simply staying calm is sometimes not enough. Their energy can be toxic. Their words, actions, and even their gaze can tire you, irritate you, and disrupt your inner balance. In such situations, a wise person knows that calmness alone is insufficient. Distancing themselves is necessary. Stepping away is never weakness. On the contrary, it is a sign of inner strength and wisdom. A wise person understands that not every interaction must continue. Sometimes the highest level response is simply to withdraw quietly and resolutely. Stepping away is also a sign of respecting your own value. They know that certain people want to exploit their patience and energy. If you argue with them, you have already lowered your level. But by stepping away, you remain calm and protect your own worth. This behavior also requires courage, because stepping away means controlling yourself and staying calm instead of succumbing to the easiest response, anger. Many people see this as weakness, but Stoic philosophy teaches the deepest calm is found in the moment you leave silently. This demonstrates great strength, not through words but through action. Let's think about this further. Sometimes you engage in arguments, trying to prove your point, but the moment you step away, You realize it protects you emotionally and physically. You no longer waste your energy on meaningless disputes. You preserve your calm and maintain your inner balance. Stepping away also sends a message. I am not trying to change you, but I will not conform to you. I will remain at my level. Sometimes words cannot express this, but actions, stepping away, staying calm, make it clear. Thus, a wise person understands that sometimes the best response is silence and distance. This not only preserves their inner calm, but also shows those around them their level. They no longer waste energy, avoid pointless arguments, and protect their inner depth. Ultimately, stepping away is the greatest strength, and staying calm is the most powerful weapon. The Stoics teach us this. The greatest victory is not to change the other person, but to maintain your own level. This video has shown you how wise people deal with fools, and why calmness, understanding, learning, and stepping away strengthen them both internally and externally. If this topic resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it. Activate the notification bell so you won't miss the next Stoic wisdom.